Well, you've just spent a couple days learning how to do that voodoo you do so well and keeping to do it. My job today is to help you not burn out, that you learn to burn bright instead of burning out as you keep doing that voodoo that you do so well. I think that laughter becomes you if you let it. Babies don't have to learn how to laugh. It's something that happens automatically. And the skill that we develop about how much we enjoy life literally comes from our ability to use our comic vision to learn to see things differently. And it's a very simple concept. Our days are a series of good and bad things. True or false? True or false? Our days are a series of good and bad things. True or false? When something bad happens, I put my hand right here and I say, bummer. Try that. Bummer. And I let it go. Are they going to lose my luggage when I travel sometimes? Yes. What is it? Bummer. When something good happens, I do this. Woohoo! Try that. Sometimes you just do it in your mind. I mean, when a beautiful woman sits next to me on the airplane, I don't go, woohoo! At least not anymore. But what I've discovered is when I travel, I'm going to have fun, and quite frankly, nobody's going to stop me. The biggest part of my job is in getting from point A to point B, and I've literally traveled over 1 million miles, almost 1.5 million miles. I've been all over the world. I continue to have fun. Nobody's going to stop me. When I flew here, I came in from Denver, Colorado. I went to go out to the airport, and the parking garage, there's a huge section that's full because they've been working on it for almost 5 years. It's just not available. So it's closed. It has a sign that says, due to be finished in March of '09. And that's a what? It's a bummer. Does it do any good to get mad? No. I walk up to the counter. I have to connect through LAX. I walk up the counter, and there's a lady in front of me yelling at the person behind the counter, and she's going, the flight's delayed due to a mechanical problem. And she says, I don't care if that plane's broken. I have to go to LA. I don't care if that plane is broken. And she walks up. And I walked up and I said, I have a different opinion. If the plane is broken, I'm not getting on, and quite frankly, you can't make me. And she laughed, and she said, Mr. Gard, you made me laugh. I'm going to upgrade you to first class for free. Woohoo! Right? I go through security. Now, TSA in the United States, very thorough, but in the 8 lines that are open, only 2, of the 8 lines in Denver at one end, only 2 of them are ever open. I know that I have a 50-50 chance of getting behind somebody that has a gallon of gasoline in their backpack. Or, I mean, I've watched people pull stuff out that they've forgotten they put in there 6 months ago or something. And I know I'm going to be delayed. And that's a what? It's a bummer. I go through security. You don't need to work on this. This happens every day. I go through security down to the gates, and if you've ever been to Denver National Airport, you can't walk to B Concourse. You have to take a train. Go to get on the train doesn't come, people are stacking up, and pretty soon I hear this. Wah! Wah, 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 wah. Wah! And dead silence for a second, and pretty soon you hear this again. Wah! Wah, 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 wah! Wah! And this guy next to me goes, what'd they say? You know? Wah! Wah! I got up to the gate. I'm getting ready to board the plane. I told the gate agent that I got upgraded to first class for free as I'm handing her my ticket. And she goes, Mr. Gard, this flight only has 1 class of service. This is the thing. I go through my day. Our days are a series of good and bad things. And for me, I have to learn how to travel. I have to have fun when I travel. And I've learned that what happens is we either learn to act or we start reacting to the situational stressors that are out there. I pay attention. I listen. I don't get angry very easily. In West Palm Beach, I was staying at a really nice hotel, and my air conditioning went out probably about midnight. And that's a what? Bummer. Instantly, my room's hot. I called to the front desk. This young man's very upset. Answers the phone. He goes, sir, he said, I'm going to have to put you on hold. We had a transformer blow up outside of the hotel. And I said, was it the Decepticons? are they attacking us? And he goes, no, not Transformers, it's just one. I said, one could kill us all. I said, you need to call Optimus Prime. We're in a lot of trouble. Learning how to see things differently is what we're going to talk about today. If you don't do this, you are going to burn out. That's all there is to it. I sat next to a guy. I was on a flight coming out of Tokyo Narita Airport, and I was on a contract that I couldn't fly business. I had to use my miles to upgrade myself, and so I'm waiting. You know how you wait? You know, it's like upgrade, you know, and come on. And I'm hoping to get the upgrade. And just before we go to board, I wrote a book called Just Plain Funny. 10 years of the funniest stuff from flying. I give these out to every flight attendant I can on every plane that I can. Who wants one? There you go. Me! People sit in front, get more free stuff, all right? Bummer. Come on down. But here's the thing. I give those out to every single flight attendant. Why? First class for free? No, I give them out because I want them to have fun. If we're going to be on this journey together, why not enjoy it, right? I mean, I don't talk at people, I talk with them. I give them all this book, and I'm on the plane, and I'm just before, I'm sorry, not on the plane, just before we board, I hear this in the intercom. Mr. Gard, woohoo! I got upgraded to business class. I mean, this is a 16-hour flight. This is a great upgrade. And I'm excited. I mean, I fly a lot. I'm excited. And I'm walking on the plane, and I come to my seat, and it has duct tape around it. And there's a sign on it that says, broke. Not broken. I'm not Conan the Grammarian, but broke. And this flight attendant walks over and said, sir, are you seated there? I said, I am. She said, it's broke. So now I know who wrote the sign, all right? I said, what do I do? She said, you have to go back to coach. This seat, the oxygen mask won't deploy. It's not safe. It's broke. So I had to go back to coach. I have been removed to the last row of the airplane. I'm in the bulkhead seat on a seat that doesn't recline. I'm in the aisle. I can touch the door to the loo. Now some of you are going, woohoo, right? Sweet, you know, but I'm going to know the gastronomic habits of everybody on that plane before we land. And I watched a flight attendant walk up, and she's got my book, and she said, Mr. Garber, you signed my book? Sure. So I signed her book, and she said, by the way, the pilot you gave it to thought it was so funny, he's upgraded you to first class for free. And I said, don't give a starving man a rubber bone here, ma'am. I said, I was in business, and my seat was broke. And she said, business class is full, first class is open. You've been upgraded to first class. I am on my way to first class international. I've never flown international first class. And I'm telling people, first class for free, first class for free, and we opened the curtains, and I am in my own pod. I have my own pod. I've gone from being able to touch the door to the bathroom to having my own pod. And as people are coming in, I don't know what their traditional greeting is, but I'm telling them, we got our own pods. That one's yours, you know. And as excited as I am, this man comes and sits next to me, and the first words out of his mouth are, this plane is delayed. This flight's delayed again. It's delayed 20 minutes. 20 minutes on a journey that used to take 2 months. And I don't know, and I just looked at him, I said, but we'll be in our own pods. And he won't leave it alone. And he goes, this plane's always late, this airline's always late, and he won't, he's just angry. He's in our business, we call them flying suits. These are men and women that should no longer be allowed to travel. Everything makes them mad. Everything. They have no more wonder in them. And this guy, and the flight attendant comes out, and she's got a tray with mixed nuts on it. And I'm thinking, woohoo, mixed nuts. It just gets better and better. And she sits a bowl next to him, and she goes to set a bowl next to me, and before she can set the bowl down, he picks his bowl up and he goes, these nuts are cold. These nuts are supposed, and he says to her, these nuts are supposed to be served warm. These nuts are cold. Go heat those nuts up. Take his with you. Go heat those nuts up. Take mine? I mean, let's go back with Tim for a minute to coach. I would have been happy to lick out the bowl back here. These nuts are cold. And he won't leave it alone. And he's saying, you know better than that. Those nuts are cold. You know better than that. And he looks over at me like I'm going to back him up, and I'm... Got her own pod, though. And flight attendant comes out. She's got a tray and mixed nuts on it, warmed now. And she sits a bowl next to him and goes to set a bowl next to me. And he won't leave her alone. You knew better than that. You don't serve cold mixed nuts on this plane. And I've had enough. And she's had enough, but she can't say anything. So I picked my bowl up and I said, these nuts are hot. They're supposed to be served cold. These nuts are hot. Go cool them down. You know better than that. Go cool those nuts down and take his with you. Go cool his too. And you could hear the flight attendants in hysterics in the galley. And the guy looks over and he goes, you think that's funny, don't you? And I said, I do. I think that's funny. He didn't talk to me the whole rest of the flight. Woo! So we're going to talk about this today. Is that I have fun. Quite frankly, nobody's going to stop me. And if you use your comic vision, you can do it too. Now, we've got a few rules here. We'll just stop seeing Tim on there. Number one, you don't have to touch anybody. Bummer. Yeah. Some of you located yourself next to some, hugging candidates. But I was just at an event in the U.S. where they had everybody touch fingers and say something personal they always wanted to say, but were afraid to say it with their seatmate. And about half the group got up and walked out. And on our way to the airport, the young man looked at me and he said, Mr. Gard, he said, you've been in this business 15 years. He said, what did I do wrong? And I said, Carl, you got to know your audience. I said, these are truck drivers. They're more comfortable with pull my finger rather than touch my finger. So rule number 2 up there is have fun. Say it. Have fun. You know, if you are good at what you do, to me, that's really fun. I'm an expert traveler. I have a black belt in travel. I know the rules, I know the language, I'm really good at it. In Chicago O'Hare Airport, I was on a carrier that I don't fly very much. I have no status on them, and it had a mechanical problem, and the young man looked at me and he said, Mr.